The Essentials is Dripping in Black.
Welcome to the Dripping in Black podcast, where we celebrate Black excellence throughout the Black diaspora. Here's your host, David V. Lewis.
What's up, good people all across the world? This is the Dripping in Black podcast. I am your host, David V. Lewis. And as usual, we have another fantastic guest. Today's guest is Whitney Marie. Whitney, say hello to the world.
Hello.
All right. So I met Whitney a long time ago. She was in high school. I was a high school teacher at that high school. And that's how we crossed paths. And through the magic of social media, we've been able to keep in touch somewhat. But Whitney has done fantastic things since high school, and we're going to chronicle that here on this episode. We always begin, as our audience knows, with the very simple but loaded question of who is our guest. So who is Whitney Marie?
Whitney Marie is fun, full of life, entrepreneur, a great woman, a Black woman. Yes.
Okay. All right. Entrepreneur, great woman, Black woman, right? All of those titles are packed with something major, right? So let's get to unpacking them. So tell me a little bit about where you're from, right? And how did you actually end up at Inkster High School?
So I'm from Detroit, but I ended up at Inkster High School. My friend that stayed next door to me, she went to Inkster, so I want to go to school with her. I thought Inkster was way better than what it was because of the Ivy League, but Inkster was Inkster. So that's how I ended up all the way out there. But at that time, I lived on Finkel and Greenfield, so that was a nice little minute from Inkster High School. Yeah, but wanted to go there because of my friend, actually.
Yeah. Who's the friend?
Micah Clark, do you remember her?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
What up,
she
Micah?
She graduated like 2 years before me, though.
Yep. Yeah, and so the academy was the draw for you.
Yeah, but I did not go to the academy at all.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I just thought it was a good school, but Inkster was Inkster.
It had good elements.
Yeah, good elements.
I would say the best elements were the students.
Yes,
I
agree.
I think I got receipts.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, I think I got receipts. Our students from Inkster, from the time I was there, are out here doing dynamic things, right? Yourself included.
Yes.
All right. So what year did you graduate from?
2013, the last year to come out.
Yeah, they closed it down after that. You shut it down.
Yeah, sure did. Tore it
down. Hey, we done here. All right. So tell me what's happened. Is 2013, you graduated high school. What happened next?
2013, I graduated high school. After that, I worked at a plant, actually. Hated it. So I kind of just looked within myself and figured out, like, okay, what am I talented in? What can I actually do? And that's when hair came about. So I actually started doing hair. I actually started back in high school, but I didn't actually take it serious. So going forward, I stopped doing hair, and then I want to say maybe 2015, I started back doing hair, but I only started making wigs. So then when I started making wigs, everybody wanted like closure sew-ins and like other hairstyles. So I want to say 2018, I actually started doing hair and like stopped with the wigs more so, but I still do them though. But everybody wanted their actual hair done than the wigs. So actually started doing hair in 2016, and then now I am here 6 years later, still doing hair.
Yeah. All right. So a couple of things that jumped out at me. You were making wigs.
Yes, I still do.
Okay. How does one learn to make a wig?
So I forgot what year it was, but I want to say maybe 2016. I flew out to Atlanta because I knew how to make them by hand, but I wanted to learn an actual sewing machine. So I took a
Mm,
sewing class at Joann's, and like we made a pillow. And I'm like,
mm,
okay, this is not doing anything for me at all. So
mm,
it was a lady out in Atlanta. She was having classes out there. So I flew out to Atlanta to take this wig making class on a sewing machine. And
mhm.
I was late for the class because I was partying. So I overslept and everything because their clubs let out way later than here. So
Yes, they do.
yeah, so I got what I got out of the class and kind of like basically like kind of like winged it and taught myself also along with the little bit that she taught me.
Mhm. Okay, and
Mhm.
so that was what year again?
I want to say maybe 2016, 2017, maybe.
Okay, and so you
Yeah.
were doing hair in high school, and
Yeah.
that didn't include making wigs. What were you
No,
doing
not at
for
all.
people in high
Mm.
school?
You said what was I doing for people in high school?
Yeah, yeah.
So back in high school, I only did sew-ins, but I didn't take it that serious. I had like one loyal client. She'd come over and I'd be doing her hair in my room like every single month. She was
Mm,
faithful until
okay.
she went off to college.
Shout out to
Mm.
the loyal client.
Yes.
All right. So I'm a teacher by trade. So I want to educate the audience. Not all of us are aware of the distinction between a wig and a sew-in.
Okay.
So talk a little bit about that.
So the difference between a wig and a sew-in, a wig, of course, you can take it off. Sew-in, you cannot. The actually what a sew-in is you get your hair braided down and then you actually get the tracks sewed onto the braids. Versus
Mm,
a wig, the tracks are sewed onto a cap.
mhm.
Yeah, so that's the difference between a sew-in and a wig.
Is the sew-in a weave?
Yep, both are a weave.
Both wigs is a weave too?
Yep, that's a weave too. You was
Oh,
like,
I
wow.
did. Yeah, I didn't know that. I just thought a wig was something separate.
No, it's the weave too, because the weave is getting sewn onto that cap for you to take it off and put it back on.
Ah.
Yep, and actually a wig can get sewn down too and glued down.
Mm, you
Yep,
do all of these things.
yep, I sure do.
All right. So let's talk about your business now. All right. So
Mhm,
tell the world what your business is and when you got actually started. So you said you were doing it in high school. You didn't take
mhm.
it serious. You had the one loyal customer. You went to Atlanta, started learning things. When did you say, okay, it's time to start a business?
So back in 2018, I moved into my very first shop. So actually, even before 2018, like I was doing hair, but I still wasn't taking it that serious. And so I actually
Mm,
moved into my first shop. It was commission based. So I think it was like
mm,
maybe like 60-40. I was getting 60%, and the shop was getting 40%.
wow.
That's
Okay.
when I actually took it serious when I
Mm,
actually moved into my first shop. And
mm,
even then, like I said, I was still making the wigs. I still do make the wigs, but people wanted more so sew-ins, quick weaves, things
mm,
like that. Yeah.
mhm. How did that, once you got into the shop, how did that experience impact you?
Oh, it had a huge impact on me. So I was around a lot of people that was basically on their grind. So that pushed me. I always had a lot of ambition within myself too. So that just kind of like lit a fire up under me being around like-minded people.
Mhm,
And then also too, like even the shop that I was at, the owner of the shop actually like had people come in and like teach us different classes. So is one style that's called a closure sewing. So like she had somebody come in and teach us that, a frontal sewing. She had somebody else come in and teach us that to
mm,
learn how to install it the proper way. So that was even more beneficial. And then even just the atmosphere of the shop was just like really pretty. It was pink, black with
mhm,
glitter walls. So that was even more inspiring to me to just like continue to go further with doing hair.
mhm.
Yeah, and then even
Yeah.
after that, I worked at a couple of more shops, and now I own my own my own suite.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. So let's talk about that. So part of the thing that I like to do when I'm talking to my guests is get their story chronicled, but also if somebody else is thinking about this, right? Some key steps that they can gain from hearing your story. So you were working in a shop, dividing up what you earned 60/40.
Yeah.
So my question immediately when you said that, is that a common split now that you have time and experience? Is that a common split 60/40, or is it
Yeah,
is it not?
I actually heard other things. Like I heard 50-50. I actually just heard of 50-50. I even heard of 70-30. I heard of all different things, but most hairstylists, if you're not doing commission, mostly you just like pay booth rent. So booth rent range from like 100 and up. Like 100 is a really good price nowadays. I didn't even heard of 150, 175. Now that's a little high for a hairstylist. But yeah, commission is more so like starting off because you don't really have a clientele. You're trying to build your clientele. So I do recommend commission based shops for hairstylists that's just starting off because you're able to breathe a little bit more and don't have to take that money out of your own pocket. Or even if you still is working a 9 to 5, you don't have to take that money out of your own pocket. You can still be able to come to work, but you still have to put that ambition behind it too, though.
Yeah.
For
Excellent.
sure.
So now you have your own suite, right? What are
Yes.
the pros and cons of having your own suite?
So one pro is the privacy. My clients actually love it more than me. They love that privacy because I have some clients that have like alopecia, so they're a little bit insecure about their alopecia. So once I actually told them that I was moving into my own suite, they was actually happy that I moved into my own suite. And then also too, controlling the atmosphere of the shop because I have worked in shops. I'm from Detroit. I'm from the city, so.
What
I
side?
don't
What
work
side? What side of the city?
West Side.
Oh, well, we won't hold that against you.
Oh,
East side all day. Okay. But I digress. Yeah.
I
Well,
just
you were
work.
saying you've been in different shops.
Yes. So some a little ghetto, some a little bit like not ghetto enough, not down to earth. So I'm happy that I can control my own atmosphere now because it was sometimes where I'll be working in a shop. I was on 7 Mile before, and it was just like, okay, somebody grandma over there, like let's change this music, and it'd be like, you know, a little tension in the air too. On top of that, so I'm happy that I can actually control the atmosphere and actually make my clients feel comfortable because I have some clients that like the rap music and like the cussing, and it's just like okay, they feel more at home that way. And then other clients, okay, I gotta turn on some old school R&B, and they like that even better.
Yeah, absolutely. What are some challenges that you're facing now that it's the suite is all under you, everything's falling on to Whitney's lap? What are some challenges you face?
I wouldn't say challenges because I do like it. Now I would say a con is like back in the day, where it'd be like just a whole shop full of women and we'd be just having that like that girl talk, but probably about like 6, 7 other people, far as like stylist and client is more personal. So it's just myself and the client in there. Yeah, I would say, yeah, that's more of a con. That's the only thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
How's it going?
It's going great. I love it. Yes, hair is something I always took a liking to, even as a child. When me and my cousin played Barbies, like we will always take forever doing their hair. And then I have an aunt that's been licensed for over 30 years too. So it kind of like just came upon me. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you've been at it for 6 years. Have you had your suite for 6 years?
Nope. So I had the suite for I want to say maybe going on 2 years.
Okay. So you've had the suite for 2 years. You've been doing it from a professional, serious standpoint for about 6 years.
Yep.
All right. So with all the things that you've learned in that 6-year period, you're now able to teleport back 6 years ago and talk to yourself and give that person some advice. What is some advice you would give her?
I would say to my old self, continue to be consistent, continue to post on social media. I say more so like posting on social media and get more creative with the posting. Yeah, I say that for sure. Because it is social media is different from how it was 6 years ago.
Okay.
People was getting way more creative with the videos, with the posts and things like that.
Anything else? Any other advice would you give?
Just keep on going. Keep on going and continue to reinvent yourself.
All right. Excellent. So now my next question is, all right, you have an idea of what you want this to become.
Yes.
Right. So you maybe you even have goals written down on how it's going to come about. Right. You've seen it in your mind. You've envisioned it. All right. You with me?
Yeah, I got you.
All right. So now we flip a switch and it's exactly what you wanted it to become. Tell me about that. What does that look like? What does that sound like? What am I experiencing coming to your business?
What are you experiencing coming to my business?
Yeah, if I come into your business and you got it just like you've envisioned it, blowing up into whatever you see it becoming, what is the customer experiencing?
Just a good aura from the moment they enter into the door. Even already I give that experience with my energy, with the person that I am. And then like I even have like music playing. I have more windows, like where I actually want to be, a little bit brighter space. Just things in that nature, just a down to earth just area that you're coming into.
Would the space be the same size? Would it be larger? Would it be more clientele? Would you have somebody else working with you? With those, are those things that you envision taking this or no?
Yes, I would say yes. I would actually have somebody working along with me just so I can get the clients a little bit in and out a little bit more faster. But also someone kind of like me, so they can feed off of my vibe and then like it just feel like home to them, where it's a place away from home. Because even with my clients now, some like have kids and things of that nature, so it's just like it's them getting away from home, from their everyday life, and just being able to relax when they come and get their hair done. Because even I also do treatments too, and even with the treatments I give like a little massage, so that's even calming to them also.
Yeah, that's dope. That's dope. I got a couple more things. Before I get into those, I want to talk a little bit about another aspect of your business, right? The C Essentials. Right. So tell the world about that.
Okay, so C Essentials is a hair tool line that I have came up with. Not your average hair tool line either. So the combs are, so I actually have some right here too. I can show you guys.
Okay.
So the combs are not like your flimsy beauty supply combs that you would get from a beauty supply. They're actually made out of carbon fiber. So they don't bend. They're actually better for our hair because like we have way more coarse hair, so it's a little bit harder to get the comb through. Sometimes you break your teeth and things of that nature. So you don't have to worry about the teeth breaking or anything like that. And then also too, another thing that we do as Black women, we have the flat iron, but we chase the comb behind the flat iron. So it's causing the teeth to melt on your average plastic comb that you would get from the beauty supply. Versus my combs, the teeth don't melt, so they're heat resistant and chemical resistant too. And also another thing that a lot of people don't know about those plastic combs that's melting, the teeth that's melting, is it causes breakage to the hair, because you have these teeth that's going each and every way, and it's causing breakage to the hair. So that's the big difference from my combs to the plastic beauty supply combs that everybody is used to buying.
Okay. So C Essentials, I can get the comb that doesn't break, doesn't burn, and doesn't cause damage to my hair. What other products am I able to get at C Essentials?
So just right now, so I'm still kind of starting off. So it's just the these are actually called the cutting comb, and then I also too have rat tail combs, and then also wig brushes for right now. Okay. Now going forward, I do want to expand and like add the male brushes and other things to the line too. Well, they are coming. Yeah. I say that, yes.
All right. So that's why I'm glad I asked that part. So this sets me up for this.
Yes.
All right. So you have a vision. You're doing well. You like where you are, but there's another level that you're trying to get to. We talked about, we're flipping the switch. You're there now. What can our audience, this is going out to the world, what can our audience tangibly do to support you in going from the level you're at to your next level? What are some things they can do for you?
Book an appointment. You can go ahead and shop shoptheessentials.com. Go ahead and purchase. Make that switch from them plastic combs to these carbon combs. That's two things that they can do for sure. And like I said, I do natural hair too. So I also do treatment. So even if you don't wear the weaves or the wigs or anything like that, you can also come and get your natural hair and scalp treated.
Yeah. Awesome. All right. I think I took care of everything that I wanted to ask through the course of our conversation, except for this one most significant question that I must ask you. Are you ready?
Yes.
Have you ever been on a magazine cover?
Have I ever been on a magazine cover? Not officially, but something that I made myself for a photo shoot.
Okay. Yes. So you on your own photo shoot, you created a magazine cover of yourself.
Yes.
Yeah, which means you have a desire to actually be on a magazine cover.
Yes, I do.
All right. Well, here at Dripping in Black, we aim to please. So one of the things we do for each and every one of our guests is place them on the Dripping in Black magazine cover. Yes. So Sean Smith S Squared is going to show you your cover.
Thank you. I love it.
All right. So that is a parting gift that we will send out to you as a big thanks for coming out and sharing your story with us on the Dripping in Black podcast. Right. We will laminate it and it'll dress it up and it'll look fantastic. And you can place it wherever you like, preferably in your place of business. You can see over my shoulders, I have several previous guests that we've had on and their magazine covers. So we like to place them on our wall of fame as well.
Yes. I love it. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it.
Yeah. Any shout outs you want to give before we close this thing out?
Shout out to Dripping in Black, first of all. Thank you so much for having me. I really do appreciate it. And I appreciate you just taking your time out and actually seeing the light within me. I really do appreciate that. Thank you so much, Mr. Lewis. And then shout out to me. Yes.
All right. Well, we want to give a big thanks to Whitney Marie for coming out to the Dripping in Black podcast, sharing her story. And we just are looking forward to big things happening with you and your line. We also want to say the DIBK Drip Shop is open. I am donning one of our famous t-shirts, Dripping in Black. You can find these in multiple colors, as well as other t-shirts and other designs. Each and every product that you find there is a representation of Black excellence. Go to dibkdripshop.com to cop the latest Dripping in Black merch. And it's always a huge thanks to all of our listeners, viewers, supporters, and subscribers. And until next time, be kind, be loving, and be excellent on purpose. It is a choice.
On the next Dripping in Black podcast is proud father and founder and director of Mage Student Athletics and the Mage Student Athletic Foundation, Mr. Darius Lewis.
You know, I think I'm somebody who kind of benefits from challenge. You know, I think the pressure makes me turn up a little bit. So, you know, being a dad is just one of those things that always kind of puts a mirror in front of you and make you really look at yourself like, you ain't doing it. You ain't doing it like you think you're doing it. So you know, it's great, man. You know, those moments are always great with your kids and things like that. But at the same time, it's one of those things that challenges me.
You have just experienced a Dripping in Black production.